Often change is a result of a negative consequence. Something happens, a breakup, diagnosis, career setback, and that makes us stop and think, do I want to keep going the way I've been in the past and risk this happening again? Not wanting to risk the same negative consequence happening again, we're motivated to change. If you're at a place like that right now and you want to make sure that this is not just a phase, but a permanent change, make sure to change not only on the level of your outer behavior, but also on the inner level of your identity of who you are. Maybe you've started exercising, spending more time in nature, or preparing healthy meals. Maybe you've changed dysfunctional habits in relationships. Maybe you've given your day a new structure. Maybe you've started giving yourself regular time for effective rest. Maybe you started reading. Maybe you started a new grounding exercise or meditation. If you want these habits to remain part of your life long term, you also need to change the way you see yourself. You need to allow these habits to become part of your self-concept and identity. You need to become someone who is a healthy person, a nature lover, a sports person, a cook, a reader, someone who's securely attached, someone who values self-care, someone who is organized and structured. The goal is not to do these helpful things once or for a while, but to become someone who does these things regularly because it's part of their identity and self-concept. The first step in making a healthy habit part of your identity is to keep repeating it. Readers become readers by repeatedly reading a couple pages in a book. Musicians become musicians by learning to play an instrument. Healthy people become healthy by repeating healthy habits like exercising, eating nutritious food, and getting enough rest and sleep. Securely attached people become securely attached by repeating securely attached behaviors and habits like helping your partner feel heard by expressing understanding and validating, communicating with clarity, and showing up as your authentic and vulnerable self. No one starts out as a reader, musician, healthy, or securely attached person. These characteristics become part of their identity by repeating a habit. The second part of this change is to allow the new habits to become part of your identity by changing the way you think and talk about yourself. Otherwise, you'll end up sabotaging your own endeavors. If you keep looking at yourself from a doubting, belittling lens, you'll crush any budding change in your identity. You will block the formation of an identity around your new habit if you keep telling yourself thoughts like, "This isn't me. I'm someone who only enjoys passive activities on my couch. I'm only doing this because of the breakup, otherwise I'd never be this consistent. I don't have the right intention. I should be exercising because I enjoy it, not because my doctor said my blood pressure is high. I will never be able to keep this up. Once the course I'm taking is over, I'll slip back into my old habits anyway. Me having to motivate myself to do this means this isn't me." The same is true for how you respond to failure and setbacks. You'll sabotage your change if you think about a setback like, "This is so typical of me. I just can't make the right decision. Although I've stopped smoking, I just can't seem to keep up with the other new habit of eating more vegetables. I'm such a loser. I'll never be good at this. Even in my childhood, my parents couldn't get me to do this. I'll never find someone to grow old with. I'm just not attractive. I am and always will be a slob, and that I forgot to take care of this thing just proves it." Holding on to, believing, and repeating these kinds of thoughts means ripping out all the new plants you just planted in your garden. The change you're striving for can only stick with you if you allow it to become part of your identity, and that happens when you change the way you look at, see, and think about yourself. This is what this new way of thinking can sound like. Although in the past, I've never been someone who is XYZ, I am now, or I'm becoming someone who is XYZ. The breakup, the worries of my doctor, or whatever has motivated me to work on this change. I will continue riding this wave of motivation and integrate this change into my identity. This is an important way humans learn as a consequence of something negative. Just because I wasn't motivated before doesn't mean the change is any less real. By sticking with these new habits, I'm making them more real every single day. I have the power to be someone who is motivated to do this without a negative event as an impetus, and that's who I'm becoming. This habit takes motivation because it's not immediately rewarding. Me having to remind myself why this is important to me is not an expression of my inaptitude, but of my humanness. Everyone who does this consistently has to motivate themselves and has days when it's hard. That doesn't mean it's not part of my identity. This setback used to be typical of me. Now it just happens from time to time. I have changed. I've made improvements with stopping smoking, and I'm really proud of myself for that. I'm still working on eating more nutritious food, and that's okay. Eventually, I'll get there. My parents didn't know how to teach me to do this. That doesn't mean that I was broken, but that they didn't know how to teach me. And zooming out to today, my childhood habits don't define my adult habits. Now I'm learning what I didn't learn before. I am attractive. I have great values, and I strive to align my actions to them. That's very attractive. I forgot to take care of this. I must have forgotten to set myself a reminder or put it on my to-do list. I'll be more careful to do that next time. This isn't working for me yet, and if I keep trying to figure it out, I will eventually. To sum up, most change happens gradually by repeating new habits. As this Eric Thomas quote expresses, greatness is a lot of small things done well. A healthy person is someone who invests into their health in small ways every day. A securely attached person is someone who invests into their relationship every day in small ways. And a confident person is someone who invests into small, confident thoughts and actions every day. And for these habits to stick with you, you need to allow them to change your self-concept and identity. Allow yourself to see yourself in a new light. Acknowledge your potential. Notice and applaud your progress. Appreciate your goodness. Allow yourself to watch yourself changing, becoming who you want to be, living in alignment with the values that are important to you. Imagine if a parent told their child as it was trying to take its first steps, "Well, you've never been able to walk in the past, so I don't think you'll be able to in the future. And look at how you're trying to learn how to walk. Could you be any more clumsy and out of balance? And you don't have the right intention either. All you want to do is follow your older brother around. You're so codependent. And you even need the support of others just to get up. Forget it. You'll never be able to walk." Most parents don't do that. Instead, they help their child build its new identity as someone who can walk with support, applause, and compassion when it falls. Support yourself in the same way as you're building this new identity. Don't squish your progress by overanalyzing yourself through a minimizing lens. Till next time, take care. And remember, to make change last, allow your identity and your awareness of your emerging identity to change.